TJ, bro. What's up, TJ? What's up, TJ? So what's up? You got me TA job yet? Or?
Michael, I don't understand. Ain't that easy?
Dude, but you said you were going to help me out if I cleared this table off the page. So you told me I did it for no reason.
I'm trying.
You're not trying. You're not trying. I want you to do something in this area to let me know that you actually want me. I feel unwanted.
Okay. She's lying. Little Mac and solo chair.
I want to feel wanted.
What? Little Mac and solo chair.
I was gonna.
I mean, you can come sit on my face.
I got you. No, you have to help me. You're not. What have you done to try to help me? Huh? Are you serious?
You let me have it?
Did you say you promised the kid a TA job and you missed that? So you can give him Huh? I don't have
He literally doesn't.
I'm going to, but like I need to have a class eventually. He's just gonna keep saying that to me. It's false hope.
Say this, hey, say his parents are willing to also just put him in the class. They'll probably want me to kick in.
Alright. Okay. What's up, everyone? So, happy Monday. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take this roll real quick.
How do you log
You use your same
in? How do you log in?
Alright. Okay. We have Evan. Okay. I'm going to try to remember your guys' faces as soon as I can. I'm going to look at the pictures, see where you guys are sitting. Brian. Okay. Elizabeth. Okay. Harrison. There. Cool. Kayla's there. Kyle's there. Justin. Back. Julian. Adam. Cool. Jackson, you back there? In the front? Yeah, there. Cool. Matthew. Here. Noah. Josh. Yep. It's hard to tell. You guys look younger in these photos. So Zach. Griffin, are you here? Yeah. Caleb.
Hey, Timothy James. Oh, James, get out of here.
Yeah. Eric.
No, I might get this battle. He's still making 270 negative, bro.
Garrett.
Yeah.
Emo.
This should be like $300.
Grace. Alright, Joe, give me a second, guys. Elizabeth. Logan. Ethan. Tyler.
Hair.
Gunner.
Skip it like this again.
Ben. Nika. Sinal. Evan. And then Cody. Awesome. All right, game time. Okay. Yeah, you're out.
That's from here.
Okay. Okay. Are we alive? Yeah. Are we happy it's Monday? No. Well, guess what? Almost done with the first part. Third period, chill. Fourth period, chill. It's lunch and then the day's almost over. Chill for me. So, digital art. We're getting into understanding what we're going to be doing for the year. We're going to start off with Photoshop. I like doing Photoshop because it allows you to be creative and start learning the Adobe Creative Suite programs while you're still able to not get fully overwhelmed. As we transition throughout the year, we'll then switch into Illustrator, which will happen next semester. That's going to require a little bit more creativity from you guys, almost like drawing and painting. But Photoshop allows you to edit photos, okay? So when we're doing this, I want you guys to think about things you like things that inspire your creativity, okay? So what type of art pieces do you like? I'm going to go over real quick just an idea of what the program of Photoshop entails. I'm going to put on the projector some images just from Google searches that will be referenced later for you guys. So, I'm sorry, what? Well, maybe you should be here. Just kidding. You're just a break. Jimmy's leaving on the second. You can hit them. You can't go back. Alright, so.
That's abuse. Your TA is abusing someone else.
Let them fight. Doesn't concern you. Okay, so if you Google digital art, it's going to say it's an artistic work or practice that uses digital technology as an essential part of the creative and presentation process. What that means is, rather than using paint or clay or, I don't know, other things to create your artwork, you're going to use technology, which is kind of cool. If I simply just go to Google and type in digital art, you'll get a variety of different things. Right at the top, you'll notice a lot of these are based on photos. So for this example, it's a photo of a face, and then they have this cracked element with this blue highlight forcing out. Dramatic eyes, photoshopped with the scenery, some lines, and an eye. This one's pretty cool. Just the contrast of a water flame with the color. Really, really dramatic. Photoshop almost looks like it's a photo, but it's drawn. Photoshop allows you to take images and pixels and edit them to create different pieces of art. We'll learn how to make images like this that are 50-50 almost look seamless. You can get really, really advanced and create your own worlds and scenes in Photoshop. Scenes like this. The more time you spend learning the basics and the simple tools and techniques, the more advanced you can get. Things like this that I think are really cool that allow you to be creative. You can go simple, you can go really advanced. It all depends on what you're looking to do. There's a lot of cool stuff out there that challenges the viewer's eyes. A lot of digital art, especially in Photoshop, is going to take an image and actually change it dramatically or even subtly to challenge your eye. This right here is pretty cool, I think. So this is Photoshop art. If I were to go to Illustrator, art, you're going to see it's more like cartoonist, more drawing, really flat, two-dimensional designs. Okay? This is what we'll be doing next semester. For the beginning, though, we're going to stay in Photoshop. What I'd like to do now is just go briefly over Photoshop in its kind of layout and tools. Bear with me as my computer loads. Where are we? PowerPoint. Face. Okay. Slideshow. Start. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Still waiting. Hold on. There. Oh. No. If you ever get that rainbow wheel of death, it's really frustrating. Gosh, you're the worst kid. Okay, hold on. Actually, no. It's only because it's condensed. Normally it doesn't look like that. Sorry, I gotta figure this out. Gotta load this again. Okay. As you will probably see in this class, it's kind of like just all chaos. We just kind of play around and make sure by the end of the year it's fun and you guys enjoyed it. But daily activity is somewhat strenuous. Okay, so hopefully this loads. Don't quit on me again. Are you serious? Dude, I'm trying, man. Okay. Start. Slideshow. Work. Nope. Oh my god. Okay. I gotta close this. Alright, well, you know what? We're just gonna do it this way. I can. Okay. Alright, so introduction to Photoshop. So what is Photoshop? Sorry, wait 1 second. My computer's freaking out. Force click. I had too much stuff open. Okay. So, can anyone tell me what Photoshop is? Let me get everyone's eyes up here. Put down your pencils, you'll have time a little bit to do some work for your other classes. Let me get your eyes. Okay. Can anyone tell me what Photoshop is? Yes.
Digital editing tool.
Very nice. Very nice. It is a digital editing tool. Yes. It's mainly focused on editing what, do you think? Photos. Beautiful. Pixel-based images. Does anyone know what a pixel is? Yeah, kind of, yeah. What is it? It's a square? It is a square. Okay. Anyone have an idea what a pixel is? What's the purpose of a pixel? Yeah.
A little tiny like piece of like a picture I'll describe it.
Okay, so you're right on. So we have an image, right? Who's ever taken an image off of Google and tried to make it bigger and it's pixelated? It looks square and blurry, right? That means you have a low resolution image. The higher the resolution, that's the higher the amount of pixels that are in your photo. So whenever you see in Google when it says like 1000 by 800, so it's essentially like a square or a rectangle. 1000 pixels wide by 800 tall. So the more pixels you have, the more detail you're going to have in your photos. Each pixel is one color.
Okay? So if you zoom into something to its simplest form, you're going to get individual pixels that build up gradients and colors and values and shades. Okay? So it's a pixel editing software. So we're going to be focusing on using those pixels to create digital art. I gotta get this working. Let's see one more time. Let's go. Please work. Please. Ugh. This is killing my vibe. I don't know why it worked last period, but it won't work for you guys. I'm sorry. Let's go.
Because Jared's not ETA.
That's because Jared's on NCA. Alright, we can get into this. I know you guys can't see it perfectly, I'm sorry, but what we have, this is our tools. This will be basically like our arsenal of items we can use to manipulate and edit photos. They're categorized in different sections. So you have selection tools, your paint tools, your vector tools, and then your navigation tools. Okay? Don't be overwhelmed by these. Some of these you'll never touch, some of them you will. I want you to think about what you're trying to do, and then you'll use that tool to do it. You'll notice that you have all these different drop downs or side kickouts. If you look at your toolbar, you're going to notice that there's going to be a little triangle at the bottom right. If you click and hold, you'll get that kick out, which will give you more options. Like for example, when we go into our shape tool, which is somewhere right here, our shape tool, it'll kick out. You have rectangles, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse, polygon, line, and custom shape. So you get more options. So if you think about it, you find that one tool and it'll have options for you to relate. For eraser, you have eraser tool, background eraser tool, magic eraser tool. So selection tools. That is what you'll use to select, grab, and move things. Okay? There's a variety of different options, a variety of different reasons you would use those, but that's how you will navigate and move around things in your project. Paint tools. This section allows you to add or change the color or position of different pixels. So there's a tool called the clone stamp. Allows you to take pixels from one area and add them to a different area. We're going to use a lot of these tools step by step in other lessons, but overall, this is going to be overwhelming for you. I don't expect you guys to know how to use these tools right away, or even feel comfortable using 2 or 3 of them. But as we go along, you'll feel more confident. I'm going to go over some of these in the beginning, just so you guys can see. So, the move tool. What do this allows you to do? Move things, yes. So, some of this is very self-explanatory, some of it's not. Marquee. This is in our selection tool area. So this allows you to select pixels based on a shape. So there's options here where you can do a circle. You can do kind of create your own. But this is mainly going to work on a square area. Okay? The lasso tool. Who knows what a lasso is? Yeah, the cowboys. You have this thing, you throw it, whatever's inside of your lasso you can bring back. This is allowing you to draw a custom shape to select something. Magic wand. Here you'll have a number of other selection tools. This will allow you to select an area based on the pixel color. So if you had a blue background and you wanted to select that blue background, with a simple click, it's going to gather all the pixels that are related based on the shade or color, and then it's going to give you that option to start moving and playing with. Crop tool, that crops your image. Eyedropper, that allows you to select an individual pixel color. So if you were trying to match a color, or if you wanted to see which color was in certain areas, you can actually use this tool to pick an individual pixel and get that color. Healing brush, this allows you to paint over or correct little blemishes or imperfections with your photo. Paintbrush and pencil allows you to draw. We'll also use this for a thing called a layer mask. Layer masks allow you to put two images on top of each other and then bring something from the bottom to the top. Clone stamp, I use this tool a lot. It's great for fixing blemishes on people's faces, fixing backgrounds, removing like lint or something off of someone's shirt or if there's a stain. History brush allows you to go backwards. Eraser tool allows you to erase. So some of these are redundant. Paint can, gradient tools, blur, sharpen, and smudge. This will allow you to kind of play around with your foreground and background to see how the photo works as you mess around with certain areas. Sometimes you'll use this, sometimes you won't. Burn, dodge, and smudge. This allows you to adjust light and color intensity, or darken a photo, or lighten a photo. A pen tool. We'll be using a lot of this, especially when we're cutting out images from one place to another. It's really great to get exact cutouts. This is also going to be a useful tool as we go into Illustrator. When you're drawing and creating in Illustrator, we're going to be using the pen tool. It is daunting, and it does get a little overwhelming, but it's actually a really cool tool that I hope you'll enjoy because of its control. Text tool. You can add type, and you can type text into your image. Your path tool allows you to drag, kind of like the move tool. And a shape tool allows you to create shapes. 3D tools we won't really mess with. Hand tool allows you to move your canvas. So if you're really zoomed into something, you can move it without affecting your artwork. And zoom tool. So we also have our color selection, which we'll get into later. Our palettes. So this is on the right side of your Photoshop. This is customizable, so you can add or take away things you don't want or you may want. Big thing in here is layers. So as you get into Photoshop and we start doing things and you start creating, you're going to have a lot of layers. A project I did a while ago had like almost 200 layers, so it gets a little overwhelming, but each layer did a different thing. With this, think of it as if you had stacks of pieces of paper. So you have your one image, and let's say you wanted to add a black and white effect to it. By doing that, it's going to create another layer. And then if you did something else, it's going to create another layer, another layer. As you add different information, it's going to keep adding it. So that will create a Photoshop file with the layers. If you save it as a JPEG, it takes all those layers and makes one. Okay? So then you can't re-edit it later. So when you're working in here, it's best to save as a Photoshop file continuously. And then once you get to your final product, you can file save as a JPEG or PNG so that it's flat and it's easier. Your adjustments. This will allow you to adjust saturation, contrast, brightness, darkness. Really easy way, just click and start playing with things. Another important thing that you may not really pay too much attention to, but it's nice to know, RGB. Does anyone know what that stands for? Red, green, blue. Does anyone know what that means? So RGB is a collection of colors, so red, green, blue. Based on the percentage of red in a photo, percentage of green in a photo, and a percentage of blue, and where those pixels are located, will give you the color of your image. Who's heard of CMYK? Yeah? Does anyone know what that means? K is weird. Yep, K is black. So, with that, this is a Pantone book. This has almost every color in the world in it. All of these are made up by percentages. So, if I were to look at a purple, let's see. So it will give you, this one doesn't give you the CMYK, it gives you just the Pantone number. But it will have a percentage of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And based on whatever those percentages are, we'll make up a certain color. So as we're being more creative in this process, we'll be able to use the color picker to slide and drag to get the exact color we're looking to do. It's important to think about color in this, just as if you're painting, how artists mix paint together to make the right color. That's what we're doing here. You'll have pre-selected swatches for you to choose from, which is nice. Your history. This allows you to see all the work you've done in your project. So if you did something and you really, really didn't like what you just did, you can undo it, or you can go back to it later and delete it. And then it'll revert to where it was before. Text. This allows you to adjust and change width, height, size, text type, all those information. Menus. We'll be using a lot of menus, especially when we go into more advanced projects, when you're going to be adjusting levels and filters, etc. You have file, which is just like any normal program. You have edit, which will allow you to edit the image. Image will control the whole canvas. Layer will control a single layer. Select, filter, etc. So with Photoshop, it's very overwhelming at first. It's going to get you confused. But I promise you, lesson by lesson, we're going to start off slow. And then we're going to grow into kind of playing around with editing and really getting creative. But today what I want to do, since I want you guys to kind of get your way into this and start thinking artistically, I'd love for you guys to look online, find one artist or piece of art that inspires your creativity. So since this is digital art, I'm going to have you guys really look to the internet to find inspiration and almost emulate other artists, okay? So spend the time today looking on Google, type in digital art, type in Photoshop art, find something that you find creative, okay? No, it doesn't have to be digital art. It could be painting, it could be anything. When you have something, let me know. I'd love to see it. If you're feeling excited and you want to jump into Photoshop and start messing around with things, you're more than welcome to. Don't be afraid to start clicking random buttons and getting in trouble. All right? Very cool.
What's up, Harry? I know, you figured it out? No.
You can do this part from RAHS. Let's see.
Actually, I kind of already know.
Okay. destroy this.
They just destroy the classroom library here.
Is it good? Noah.
We're like 2000. I'm gonna say. How do you do 2010 World Cup? It was ESPN. It was just it was like stuff like that.
That might work. Solve some issues.
Yeah, I want to see what you guys think is creative and cool.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be like cheeses and shit. Oh yeah, make sure to show it. I know it's.
Not like reconciliate it just because
Just because of that.
that's
I know that's a right there.
These get really slow. Working on getting new computers, so. Yeah. That's actually super good.
it is
Yeah, just play around in Photoshop, see what you want to do, what you can do. Feel free to start clicking on the buttons and getting frustrated with it.
I think we're gonna get that.
Probably in the next, like in the next World Teams game. For the 2017 season, they just brought in,